Legislature is over. Lawmakers are gone home, but news stories still breaking around Santa Fe. We'll talk to the president of Santa Fe Community College, Sheila Ortego. She says she's thinking of a way that might actually work to alleviate the College of Santa Fe's debt burden so that it might come back alive. And the commissioner for the Public Regulation Commission from northern New Mexico, Jerome Block, seems to be the subject of a grand jury investigation. That story's right here, right now. Several important stories moving along quickly. We'll try to keep you up to date on what's happening. First, the Public Regulation Commissioner Jerome Block, Jr. Block won his seat in the November general elections over Green Party candidate Rick Lass. But the run-up to the election was fraught with questions about Block. They just kept coming. For the most part, they concerned his use of public campaign funds. At one point, Block even admitted lying about how he reported his campaign expenses to the Secretary of State's office. He had to return part of the more than $100,000 in public money he had gotten. But then the Secretary of State says she was satisfied with Block's final accounting and seemed to let the matter drop. It's been quiet since then, until today. The Journal North edition of the Albuquerque Journal has published a story saying that Block may be the subject of a grand jury investigation. The reporter who did that story joins us on the line, Ram Wong. This seems to be a development that any number of people expected to see happen much earlier.
Well, and I think this is a long time coming. This dates back to his election campaign last summer, and at the time he had written on his campaign finance reports that he had held a campaign rally and he had paid a country western band to perform at the rally. And one of the members of the band was Paul Mays, who was the top elections chief out in Las Vegas. And for weeks, Block had maintained that this rally had in fact happened, and he told several reporters that, this rally occurred and this performance occurred. And finally, he acknowledged that the rally, in fact, had not occurred, and he had, in fact, lied on his campaign finance reports. So the Secretary of State began investigating, and the Attorney General began investigating, and now it looks as if it's gone to the grand jury.
Now, the Secretary of State had said that she had completed her investigation. Everything seemed to be A-OK, and the election went forward.
Yes, and it seems to me that was a civil investigation, and as a result of that, Commissioner Block agreed to refund about $10,000 worth of campaign funds, and he also paid a fee for that.
And the Attorney General, in the meantime, always said there was an investigation, but would never say where it was going. This appears to be the culmination of that?
It appears to be the culmination of that, and there were a lot of questions before the election of why it was taking so long for the Attorney General to do something, to take some action on this. And a lot of people were hoping that this would happen before the election, but of course that never happened. And, the Attorney General's office always said, we have our own timeline and we can't rush these sorts of things. And it looks like they're finally making some headway on this.
I take it this is not a federal grand jury, local?
It's a local grand jury here in Santa Fe, and 3 members of the Secretary of State's office, including the Secretary of State herself, Mary Herrera, were to appear before the grand jury this morning.
And you don't know if that actually has happened yet?
I don't, not yet.
What will you do to follow up on the story? Because we'll be watching what you report on it.
Sure. If there is, in fact, an indictment out of the grand jury, that usually comes out on Thursdays. So I guess we'll look tomorrow or next week to see if anything has happened yet. We don't know where the investigation is at this point. We don't know if Commissioner Block has received a target letter from the grand jury indicating that there is, in fact, an investigation, and we don't know if other folks have been subpoenaed to testify. So we'll wait and see.
Very good. Ram Wong at the Journal North. Thanks so much.
Thanks very much. Bye.